Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Pole Project. I am your host, Ayelet, as usual. I missed you guys. What is going on? Today's episode is about how pole is so different from other sports. So I will say a lot of good things about pole dancing. Please, if you're doing something else as well, I don't know, going to the gym, doing CrossFit, whatever, please don't take it to heart. It's not a bad thing if you do other things. It's just, this is a podcast about pole dancing. So obviously this is the topic, and obviously I'm gonna just tell you how it is so much better. Just kidding. It's not gonna be all about better things, but it's just gonna be how different it is from other sports. So, fair disclosure, I asked some of my studio friends to tell me what they think the answer to this question is. I asked them, how is it different than anything you've done in the past? And a thing that I got a lot was that it's a combination of a lot of things. It has the elegance of dancing, it has the sexiness that only pole, I think, can offer, and it has the fitness. So it literally just has it all. It is truly a combination of everything you would want in your workout routine. It works on your entire body, so when you do a trick, even if it's more lower body centered or core centered or arm centered, it is still going to activate your entire body and a lot of different muscle groups all at once. It's not like going to the gym and then being like, whoop, I skipped leg day, now I look like a chicken. So it is very inclusive, but on the side note, you really do need to train your bad side. Otherwise, you will look very funny because you will have one arm that looks like the Hulk and another arm that looks like a stickman. So that is not good for us. Another thing that a friend told me about pole dancing, which was very different from going to the gym, he said that it requires a lot of patience, and it's not like the gym where you see results almost immediately. You have to be very patient and persistent if you want to see results, which also brings me to my next point, which is this sport is not about the results. There's a sentence that I saw somewhere on the internet, and it was really beautiful to me. It said something along the lines of, pole dancing teaches us to love our bodies for what they're capable of and not for what they look like. And I really agree with that sentence. I think when you do pole, you are so focused on doing that trick, doing that spin, doing that climb, that you don't even feel like you're doing a workout, and you don't even think about the calories you're burning, or how am I going to look like after this practice? How am I going to look like after 2 months doing this? Because you are so focused on achieving the tricks you see other people succeed, that suddenly after a few months of pole, you're like, whoa, I'm really fit. Like suddenly you can see some muscles. Suddenly my body looks like it has less fat, and it's not about the end goal or about looking a specific way as much as it is about broadening your spectrum of tricks you can do and just having fun while you're doing it. No shade to other sport fields, but something that I also heard a lot from my friends when I asked them this question is that so many other things were just boring and repetitive and result based, and I think it is so hard. I never was a person that went to the gym to get fit, but I feel like it is so hard when I do train my core at home or do stretching. It is so hard to sit in a stretch or in a squat position or anything like that and feel like you're suffering, and the only thing going through your head is like, I need to do this to have a bigger butt, or I need to do this to get the splits. It is so hard to achieve things that way, but when you take away the need to achieve something through the activity that your body is doing, it just makes it so much more fun. You're not only focused on looking a specific way, you're just having fun while you're at it. And the thing about pole is that it's actually fun. It's not repetitive. There are so many tricks you can do. You can actually learn a trick and then never do it again for like a year or even 2 years, because there are just so many more tricks you want to nail and get it done right. So it is never boring, and there's always something new you can learn, and always new grips or new techniques and new difficulties you can get to if you only persist and you're patient. Another thing that I wanted to discuss is how pole is really a lot like therapy. There is something very, very intimidating about going to a studio, even I think a regular dance studio, and just be surrounded by a lot of girls which are very fit, very athletic, and then after warm up they just like start flying above your head like 3 meters high. But the thing about pole is the people you're around become family, and I think that is for a lot of reasons, but mostly it is about the danger. Pole is dangerous, y'all. If you fall from that height on your head or on your back, you can cause yourself serious damage. I've known some people that have fallen from tricks and had to go through surgery and get like platinum things in their bodies, and I do not want anything that is metal in my body. But yeah, it is very, very serious. You can cause yourself some serious damage if you're not doing it right. That is why a lot of people who pull at home are more prone to injuries, even if it's just because they didn't do a proper warm-up. But when you do something very risky and you nearly slip, or God forbid, if you slip and hurt yourself, immediately everyone in the studio are going to be surrounding you, helping you up, giving you water, asking if you're okay. And I think that's one of the reasons why the girls or boys or the people that you're in class with become your family so quickly, because if you climb up that pole and you meet your way down in the worst way possible, you have to have trust on these people. If you are literally putting your life sometimes in the hands of people that are with you in the studio, if it's a friend spotting you, if it's your teacher, whatever, it is a very risky sport, and that is something that is very important to mention. When you try pole, please be careful. Don't do anything that is above your level or something that you've never done before and you see it in a video on Instagram and you're like, "Ooh, I want to try that." You might hurt yourself, so please do it the smart way. Also, a lot of girls come to the studio and they have a lot of problems with themselves, as women do. We live in a society where we are conditioned to think that there is something wrong with us and we're never skinny enough, pretty enough, have enough makeup, wear nice enough clothes. That is just what society wants us to think, because those industries of makeup and clothing and whatever just roll millions of dollars from those insecurities of us. I have a lot to say about this. I do not want to go on a rant, but love yourselves the way you are, ladies and boys. But anyway, a lot of girls go to the studio with a lot of these insecurities, and I'm gonna go back to that sentence again. Once you start looking at your body and admiring it for the things it is capable of doing and not about the way it looks, like your entire worldview changes. And then it doesn't even matter to you if you gain a couple of kilos or lose some. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if you eat like a cheat meal sometimes, or like eat a lot of deep fried things and sugars. It doesn't matter, because your body is such a badass machine and it can do all of these amazing things that no one else could. You're like basically a superhero. What more could you ask? I mean, your body is amazing. It could do so many great things if you just let it, and you just keep training and practicing and nourishing your body and letting it getting to better places. So yeah, that is it, I think, for today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing this one. I feel like I didn't know I have so much to say about it, so I am really happy I got that out of my system. I'm just reminding you guys that we have an Instagram account. It is at the Pole Project Podcast. We also have a Twitter account, but I think it is not very popular. Not many people in my country where I live use Twitter. I think it is more of like a United States thing. So let me know if you think I should keep it running. If not, I will maybe opt for a Facebook page. Is anyone still on Facebook even? I feel like us millennials are so over Facebook. But let me know how you would want to communicate with me. And also, the usual, I will tell you again that we are available to listen on Podbean, on Spotify, and on iTunes. Finally, thank God they accepted my request. So yeah, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever you might call it. I'm an Android user here. Guilty. So yeah, thank you for tuning in this week. I'm very happy to be in your ears again. That sounds a bit odd, but I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.